pen's always so screwed up when I start. Sorry. Okay, so late last night, I was informed that I was getting another box from Aquatic Arts. So I have another unboxing. So yay! Boy, I look disheveled this day of this. I was just in the fish room for like 3 hours straight, and I think the humidity basically gave me a perm. But how's everybody doing? Good to see y'all. I usually record the unboxings, but I just wanted to show how much faith I have in Aquatic Arts that I'm gonna do a live unboxing. You guys, I mean, I don't know if you guys care or not, but I want to do like a proof of like literally opening the tape. And this is a box that I found out about late last night because I got an alert saying you're getting a package, and then a text saying, "Ha, you're gonna get more fish that you've told us in the past you wanted." So thank you guys, really. I mean, they have a new marketing team and they bought a new facility, so it's kind of a celebration of the years we've worked together, and then also of, I guess, the company growing because of you guys, because of them, their hard work, because of you guys shopping there, and because of I guess me informing folks of it. And then I want to do species spotlights videos and background and history on the plants and animals they send me. So which they can use also. So we're just trying to team up more as as a resource for me, because I can't afford to buy all these crazy fish all the time. And so let's do this. Let's open it. I hope you guys. Oh, we got another new member. Welcome, 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 Tori. Thank you so much for signing up. Appreciate it. And I promise we will be getting back to the nerdy history videos soon, and I'll be live streaming tomorrow also. But today, this is just a spur of the moment unboxing. Now, this box was supposed to arrive early this morning, but it turns out that the UPS lately, they did this on the first. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock is when I will be streaming. 4 o'clock on Saturday and Tuesdays, Pacific time, LA time zone. But the box that got to me the other day was an overnight box also. And it was lost for 6 hours or so by UPS. They sent it to Dallas instead of Minnesota as the transfer hub or something. But it still got here on time, that box. Now, this box did not get here. I mean, it's the same day. But I just want to show you guys that I have faith in the company and that there's no strings being pulled, because sometimes people do unboxings and half the stuff's dead or something, and so I want to just do it live. Screw it, we'll do it live. Those aren't the exact words, but you guys know the reference probably. Okay, let's just pull this around real quick. Not going to show you guys my address, you heathens. But look at this. These boxes. What am I gonna do with these boxes? Make a swamp cooler? Holy cow. So I don't know exactly what to expect here. And all what do you call it? Let's move this. This is the order from 2 days ago. All a disclosure. Let's say a disclosure. Holy cow, that's another big box. You were right. That I didn't pay for any of it this time. Usually I pay for half of it or 2/3 of it or whatever, and they throw in some free things, or they'll cover shipping for me for promoting things. But this is Rico stands right. I like big bucks and I cannot lie. All the other fish I'm gonna fry. Okay. Before I opened everything all carefully and kept you in suspense, but I decided this is an easier way to do it. Scuds, yes! Oh my goodness. I didn't think they'd send me these. I don't think they send these, what do you call them? Like, officially speaking, but I have wanted scuds, just like a whole bunch of, oh, I'm not even filming. Whole bunch of scuds for like a long time. So I'm really excited about that because this is like, you know, when you're a wholesaler, you get lots of critters that come in that you have to quarantine and take care of. And that's why Aquatic Arts does that for like sometimes up to 3 months until everything is in tippy-toppy shape. And scuds are one of the things that happens with shrimp imports, and also just aquatic plant farms happen to carry them a lot of times. But I have been looking for scuds. I haven't had any in my tanks in a couple years, just by luck, dumb luck, unfortunate luck for me. Most people don't like them, but I love them. My fish love them. So I want to do a scud culture, a culture of scuds, if you will. All right, let's see what's rolling on next. Boom! We've got, oh, and it's colorful. It is colored up for a traveling goby. Holy cow. And they sent me, how many more? How many? There's 6 of them? And they're all stuck to the wall. Look at that. They're not even in the water. They're like, nah, I don't like the water. Never mind. Get back in there. But these guys are golden neon, beautiful stiphodons. These things color up like no one's business. That's a female. But these color up a crazy yellow. Gosh, guys, get in the water. I don't know what you're thinking. And that one that was bright yellow when I pulled it out, it's already coloring down. So they're very temperamental in their color changing. But that's awesome. You guys, I think I have like 13 species of gobies now. And I think I have 6 or 7 Stiphodon species. I'm really like, I want 30. I love Stiphodons. They're my new favorite thing ever. Okay, so here we have Scarlet Batis, and we have females. Yes. 6 females, 3 males. What more could you ask for? And little red guy who's coloring up. It's hard to see him. But, oh, we've got 1 loss. I'm going to be transparent and honest. We got 1 loss. But, boom, Scarlet Batis. Love them. And I didn't have any females because my male went nuts and killed the females recently. So, right on. I am so excited. Let's see. What's next? You know, these unboxings aren't the most exciting part for me. Obviously, it's watching them color up and all that. But, whoa. We've got a leopard frog Pleco. Are you kidding me? They sent me a leopard frog Pleco? Sweet. Now I have 5 of these guys. These are my favorite Pleco of all times, hands down. They are in threat big time in their natural habitat, as are the zebra Plecos. But man, that is a beaut. It is, I mean, it's hard to see on a live stream, but it's got kind of a yellow color to it, even though it's probably stressed beyond belief through shipping, you know? So, holy cow, I am so excited for that. That is great. Wow. Thank you, Aquatic Arts. You know, I guess they appreciate me telling you guys you can get your discount code. Let's see what we've got here. Holy cow, another group of rainbow fish. So here we've got the Pseudomcgill Gertrude, and these are, you know, they're not the most colorful fish. Let's just put it that way. They're not the most colorful fish, but they are really fun to watch activity-wise, and when they get bigger, they do color up. So more Pseudomcgill rainbow fish. They know I'm doing the Borneo tank. So between Borneo and Australia, I'm doing like a straight of Micronesia, Australasia tank. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. So let's see here. The next one. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, we've got albino koi kohaku swordtails. I'm guessing they're swordtails and not platies. Let's see. Yep, swordtails. Boom. Beautiful fish. Love these fish. These are a rad fish. I mean, really love these. I've got a couple, or I have a couple males, two males. So they're it's not that they're the rarest thing, but boy, are they pretty, and boy, can you breed them for a profit. Yes, you can. Next one. We're doing this down and dirty because the last unboxing took 20 minutes just to do. I know, getting stressed where to put all these fish. Right. I know. I was thinking about that last night. I was like, holy cow, they have more, they're sending me more fish. Oh wow, we've got 7 blue bolts. Caridina species. These are, let's see, are they colorful? Yes, and there's a couple scuds in here with them. So, right on. I'm excited about the scuds. I like the scuds. I told them, give me scuds, and they listened. But blue bolts. Now, these are definitely not a starter shrimp, but they are a beauty. And wow, these are like super blue bolts. There's one that's not. The rest are all totally blue. And they only have one price there of their blue bolts, so that's pretty impressive. So that's cool. Wow, I am so excited. All right, next one. We ripped the top off. Bum, 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 bum. And we have, oh nice, they sent me some really young little crystals. So these are crystal reds. We got 5 of them in here, it looks like. One thing to note about shrimp or small fish, always be careful that they don't get pinched in the bottom. But the way that Aquatic Arts bags things, they bag things twice. And so there's always going to be a knot at the bottom too. So just make sure when you empty them that they're not getting pinched off anywhere in there. But wow, oh my goodness. So this week has seriously been like Christmas. This month has been like Christmas. Getting a house in the last month, and now this, and setting up the new fish room. And you guys are all here with me to share it. It's like Christmas with my friends. All right, let's see here. Oh wow. Okay, so these are a goby that I didn't even know. Whoa, I've read about these. I didn't know that you could get these anywhere. They must be adding them to their website, but these are called Birdsong. They're named after a Stiphodon researcher by the last name Birdsong. But they are called Birdsong gobies, and they're only found in one spot, I believe. I think it's the Philippines, if I remember correctly. But they turn this beautiful red color, red and yellow, when they spawn. So that is another Stiphodon species. Holy cow, look at that. There's a male with the orange and red kind of. I know it's always hard to see. These guys are funny though because they're always hanging. Like when you turn the bag, they all just hang on the side. Like they don't have a problem because all these guys, all Stiphodons have evolved from the same common ancestor, and they like climbing up waterfalls. They've evolved to climb up waterfalls. I really don't know what I'm going to get next. This is like, I feel like I won the lottery, guys. So thank you. Thank you for enabling this to happen. Okay. Whoa. Holy cow. They gave me 7. So this is C125, which means that these are aspadoras. They're similar to Corydoras. Uh-oh, this guy's stuck. See, like I was saying? Let me get him free. There we go. But these guys are exactly like Corys in their care, except they're long. They're like an inch longer than a Corydora when they're full grown, half an inch as babies. And they're super, super like stretch limo Corys. See that? I'm trying to show you guys them, but they want to hang out at the bottom because they're, Corys. But they all look healthy, happy, and this is a new species. Still has the C name because Corys and Plecos and Apistos, lots of animals when they're new and they're actually in the hobby before science is caught up. they give them a name, so it stands for, you know, Corydoras, blah blah blah. But even though these aren't a Corydoras, they're actually called aspadoras. But they have that same they have the same adipose fin as the Corydoras on their tail, which puts them in the same category taxonomically. So wow, that is awesome. Pretty excited. Okay, I don't know. 2 more to go, guys. 2 more to go. Cool! So these are striped Borneo loaches, and these guys, again, look at this, hanging out on the package. But awesome, awesome fish. Well, you guys won't be able to see what they look like, so we'll wait till they color up. I'll obviously do an update, but these are a beautiful fish, and they hang on to the sides. They can go without water for a while. They'll crawl out of your tank, like this guy just doesn't want to go back in the water. But they are a beautiful striped. They look like hillstream loaches, but they're from Borneo. These are pretty much full grown, probably. I don't know if they're tank raised or wild caught. It'll say on their website. But this will go perfect in my Borneo tank. They're really pretty little fish. And very cool. Those, and I'm so excited about those aspadoras. People don't know what they are, I feel like, whenever I talk about them. Last thing to unbox. Oh, they didn't. Yeah, right on. So these are gold wrestling halfbeaks. I've tried to order these, and they go out of stock in a day when they get these things. Seriously. Any of their halfbeaks do. But I had some, and they got sick. They weren't gold wrestling ones. These are live bearers from the other side of the world, from over in Borneo in Indonesia. And they are a beautiful fish with this crazy beak. They just look like otherworldly, like little needlefish. And they are really cool. They're going to go in the Borneo tank too. So now I need to start putting stuff away. So if you guys have questions, you want to chat, I literally just need to get things acclimating. Also because these guys were on some tour of the nation, apparently, put on free by UPS. But yeah, look at these guys. They've got the red and the yellow showing already. These guys are full grown. That's awesome. So there's a lot of different half-beak species that they're discovering. But those ones, I mean, I'm stoked. And you guys, you know, my new favorite fish, oh, it looks like it ate another shrimp. Where did it go? You lose these things every second. Is this dragon, dragon goby? That is not focusing. That's terrible. Well, you guys can't even see him because of his camouflage. Good story, Alex. Here we go. Look at him. He's hiding under the sand. So these guys are really cool. I'll do a video where you can actually make them out in high definition. But they hide under the sand. They dive, and then they shimmy down under the sand, and then when a shrimp comes by, they eat it. And I have to tell you that I think they eat a lot of baby shrimps, but I don't really mind. There's a lot of these cherry red shrimps that I have in my possession between all my tanks. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, if you enjoy unboxings, go ahead and hit that like button. Where can you find info on keeping gobies? Seriously Fish. Look at this goby. Look at this Borneo striped loach. He's still just chilling at the top of the tank, or at the top of the bag. Like, they just won't let go. These guys live on waterfalls, so they'll need to be in the new tank probably, realistically. Like, as much as I love this setup, I think we're going to need to put them down in here. Or maybe I'll put 2. I don't know. I don't know how social they are. I think they're probably a pretty social fish. Get off the sides, guys. Jeez. But in any case, they're really cool. Really excited about that. Yes, Mr. Gromby, that is a good point. You said, can you talk about how getting so many fish isn't a good idea unless you have tank space and you know about that, like what to expect and things? Yeah, Aquatic Arts and I are in very close contact. They know that I have 25 tanks total and tanks outside for the rice fish and for everything. So, and they also know that I have recently sold off a lot of my critters that I didn't like some of the big ones like Siamese algae eaters and some of my catfish and things like that. I've sold off. But boy, look at those fish. They're so pretty. Here's the one that's way bigger that I've had a while. But yeah, they are that is a good point, Mr. Grumby, that you don't need oh my goodness, I love these yellow guys so much. The Birdsong are so beautiful. They've got this stripe down the side that's like orange and red. It looks like they're in spawning color already. Weird. So loaches take up, or sorry, not loaches. Gobies take up a very small portion. Here's another of the micro dragons. My camera won't focus on it because it is so well camouflaged. But they sit like little cobras, and I've noticed they can either inflate or enlarge their eyes. I know that sounds weird. Oh, there's two right next to each other. But they are really cool. There's an Indonesian variety that I don't like as much. Not as cool. Still cool, not as cool. But the thing about all these gobies is you really do need biofilm. So all the yellow grimy stuff on glass, don't clean it if you have gobies. If you're doing gobies, make sure that you have that as well as things like I said, scuds, daphnia, that you're doing actual, like if you're keeping, for instance, I keep batis, but I also keep a lot of tanks that don't have any fish in them, and they're just there to collect micro flora and fauna. And so the idea is that these gobies, then I can take pipettes of that water and inoculate their tanks. And yeah, so it's just, if you're gonna have like panda loaches or gobies, some puffer fish, you really do need to have that ready. Now, I was gonna do a totally biotope tank down here for Australia, but I kind of want to put the aspadoras in here. They're small, and I love cories and that kind of fish, and they're not going to get big. They are a little pricey, these guys, and that's why I didn't have any of my own yet. But I have soft water, but some of my water I make hard, so I always have coral in a bag ready to go. So some of my tanks, have a TDS, like this one has a TDS of around 400, but the pH is really low. So that one's like a tank that I'm always battling with, whereas this one has a TDS of super low, but is slightly, it's got a TDS of like 80, but it's actually slightly, what do you want to call, alkaline. So because there's enough crushed coral under the substrate and also local sand that has shells in it and things, whereas then I have other tanks like this one that runs at a pH of like 5 with bettas and other cyprinids and danios in it, rasboras and things. This pea puffer one's pretty neutral, but it's got a little bit of crushed coral in it for them for protein and calcium. But yeah, definitely this tank I need to decorate still. Literally just got it jump cycled by taking the filter media. You know how I'd mentioned about 2 weeks ago that I put extra filters on tanks? Well, this is exactly why. they've been filtering other tanks, and so they're all ready to go to jumpstart the other tanks. And I already moved the Radnocentris. I would say 150 is still a pretty low TDS. Generally, the cutoff is around 150 to call that low TDS. 100 is technically, like, no one's going to argue. If you have 100 TDS or less, that's really low. Out of my tap, it comes out at 25 here in Seattle because it's basically rainwater. But in Chicago and Florida, you'll see people with 500, 600. I know someone in Florida with 850 out of the tap. So, I mean, it gets wild out there. Let's see here. You're going to go here, but the one Scarlet Batis who's in here is coming out. Because right now, I've also got my Neocaridina's. Now, I have videos on how you can put Neocaridina and Caridina shrimp together, but it's a fine balancing act, and if you're new to shrimp, one, I wouldn't buy blue bolts or crystal shrimp. And if you are new, I would try crystal black or red before blue bolts at all. Blue bolts, green hulks, pintos, galaxy tigers, tangerine tigers, any of those things. Tai bees, tai bees, King Kongs. Don't mess with those. Mess with a nice friendly Amano, or something you can handle when you're new. Neocaridinas, and that'll suit you well. These guys are climbing up the side of the bag. They are so antsy. That is awesome. I am so excited. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for sharing this with me. I'm glad I've got fellow fish nerds excited. So another note about these gobies is, yes, a lot of them will eat food, pre-prepared food, over time or once they're relaxed. But you can't count on that, especially with like these micro dragon gobies. These guys need moving food. And yeah, they'll eat other stuff. Like once they've killed a shrimp, they'll come back and eat it. But they need that hunting instinct. These guys are like the cheetahs or cobras of my tank, and they're small, so it's okay. They can't eat an adult Neocaridina. But I watched them try. I watched them try to get the corner of a tail in their mouth. And I'll get some good footage because live stream, it just doesn't even know how to focus. The low quality stream doesn't know how to focus on them when they're on a background that looks like this. But I have footage of them from last night where you've got one, see how he's dug in there and just his eyes are sticking out. They're emerald green. Just his eyes and nose stick out, and the rest of him is buried. And he's waiting for something to come by that corner, probably one of these shrimp. Really cool. Those are the micro dragons from Taiwan. There's the Indonesian micro dragons too, but they just don't quite do it for me. Now, these are the golden neon. These guys have a really long name that I can't remember in Latin, but they are just a psychedelic trip of a fish. Blue head that's just raging blue, and then beautiful stripes and gold and turquoise on their bodies, the males. And when they spawn, I mean, man, they look insane. You're like, where did my other species go? They're that startling of a fish. Then we've got the new guy, and they actually sent me a fairly good size. I'm surprised. I've never gotten one this big from them, honestly. They have these guys inexpensive for a good line. So you can get bad lines of these that are like white and tan online for 30 or 40 bucks. But for a good line, it's usually like $79 to $100 for leopard frog plecos. These ones here, I mean, this guy's probably 2 inches, maybe a little under 2 inches, but I mean, he's fat, he's chubby already. He's probably only got a year to grow, whereas usually you've got a 2-year wait with a lot of these. Thank you very much, Zen Ginger. I can't say that name. Percnopterygynonus. I can't say it. For some reason, those sounds will not go together for me. Percnopterygynous. I got the gynous, or gynonus. CN just doesn't go together for me. Pernopterygynous. Man, that looks like a freaking Cyrillic alphabet of a word. So scuds. These are my secret weapon. Scuds, as in the missile. Yes, they sent me scud missiles. You can get those from Aquatic Arts. No, scuds are relatively harmless to shrimp, depending on who you ask. I think they're harmless to shrimp. And they are just little crustacean isopod. I don't know what they are, honestly. Like what they literally are classified as. But they look like little roly-poly bugs. And they are in the water. And fish love them. Fish really like these things. They won't just magically appear in your tank if you have fish, but if you have shrimp, there's a good chance you've seen them magically appear. They're magically delicious, really. You know what? Where do I want to put these shrimp? Maybe I'll put them... I might just put them in this tank so I can keep a closer eye on them. This tank is a little higher KH and TDS. None of these tanks are heated, but this room's been hovering at 73 to... Come on, move. 73 to 76 degrees, depending. So, in summer, it's going to get really hot in here. I might actually need to invest in an air conditioner for the room. Well, I did take the air conditioner out of my old place. Amphipod, thank you. Rice water, I appreciate your intelligence that I lack. Alright, so then we've got the Scarlet Batis that they sent me, the females and some males. And the females were all I cared about. And I know people are probably going to ask, will Aquatic Arts send me females? Probably not. The answer is probably no. And remember, this is the bag that had a loss. So we had a floater in here. But that's not bad. Out of 2 unboxings, I lost 2 shrimp the last time. No fish. 1 fish this time. And we've seriously in the last 2 days unboxed probably 120 fish. Not joking. Fish and shrimp. Boy, these things are stressed in a bag that have traveled across the country in an airplane in several trucks, and they're still just radiant, gorgeous little fish. I checked. They are on the website. I got a text, so that's how I checked. Somebody's like, they're on the website. The Birdsong gobies are up on the Aquatic Arts website. And yes, all of you get the 15% off code for the next few months. And then we'll change the code again, because that's how it's going to roll now. Is we're going to have to change the code because bots keep scrubbing the code and then putting it on sites that basically get money for it. And then there's sites like Honey and stuff that aren't really that big of a deal. But so they want to change up their codes every 2 to 4 months or something like that. Ooh, look at the thread fins go. The males were just going nuts a second ago. But wow, I mean, just thank you so much, Aquatic Arts. You guys rock. Mods, you guys rock. And I mean, I've already just been glued in this room. Like, I haven't made any content other than just filming stuff that I got, obviously. You might have seen the last 2 videos that came in, or that went up. But, I mean, I literally have just been, like, oogling all the fish that I got from them. And just watching the gobies and stuff. So, yeah. You used the code on Tuesday, David, to get a couple self-cloning crayfish. Right on. Please don't put them in your local creek, but right on. The other thing is I'm setting up new shrimp tanks. Now, shrimp tanks are interesting, and I might do a video just on this, but you don't really need to cycle a shrimp tank because they don't produce much ammonia. So if you have, you know, some decor plants even that already have some algae and biofilm on them, Boy, this tank is got water stains on it and all sorts of stuff. But if you've got that, you really don't need to specially rig your tank much. I mean, even a sponge filter will work, a matin filter, or a hang off the back, but you have to just remember that baby shrimp can get caught in the way. But we've got green babaltis in here too. Yeah. Mr. Gromby, you say you sent a message, but you haven't heard back. Did you send them a message at their info email? Because that's where their customer service is based. Marketing handles their Instagram and social media. A gal named Ashley, who is a really sweet gal, very smart with the marketing, and I think that the company's going to go good places with it. And then Matt handles, along with Preston, quality control and things like that. Matt also does acquisition of new species. So I was talking to him for 2 hours the other night, and we were just chatting about. He was telling me that he was wanting these also. So I'm so stoked that he got these Birdsong gobies. But I know that means he put them in quarantine, because even they won't even let me have anything, even with our relationship going on 4 years. They won't let me especially have things before they're, cleared out of disease and stuff like that, for at least like a month. So I know that he's had these in his back pocket a little while, and I mean, that's just awesome. What a great surprise. I mean, so now we've got the blue neon, the green neon, the cobalt blue, the normal neon blue. There's blue neon and there's neon blue as the common name for different stiphodons. And then we've got the orange fin stiphodon. And then we've got the Birdsong. And then we've got the Palawan riffle goby. And then we've got the Indonesian riffle goby as all species in here, as well as the not in here, but in 3 different tanks now. Now they need a big filter. So if you're going to do that, that's like a 50-gallon filter on a 20-gallon tank. And I'm doing big water changes on this tank. Normally I don't do big water changes on shrimp tanks, just because I don't like to swing the parameters on them. But this is rainbow fish. It's threadfin rainbow fish, Rhamnocentris ornatus, and also Luminatus Pseudomagil luminatus. And then there's bumblebee freshwater gobies in here, and then the Taiwanese micro dragons. And so between all those things, I mean, that tank, this tank, and my kind of, I guess I'd call it the show tank in the other room, I changed the water a lot on them. We've also got the whiptail red lizard fish in here, the catfish. Those are great. Look at this blue panda guppy female. She is gonna explode. I just moved her out of the community tank and into here. She's actually started giving birth last night. I saw a few of the babies, but I don't know where they are. I'm a little worried that this Apisto thinks that the babies are for him. I might even move her again or put her in a pen. That's the thing that might happen. But yeah, so I got this tank set up, guys, finally too, this 40-gallon. So the reason I can handle all these fish is that obviously I had 20 tanks that I moved, 21 if you count the bowls. And then now I've got, I think, 26 if you count the containers outside, and if you're counting like my 1-gallon bowl with 2 Everglade pygmy sunfish in it, that kind of thing. But down here, those are the orange high fin stiphodons. So we're going to get a bunch of rocks and wood in here too. This is the Asian fern. It never hit the site commercially. It came in a little beat up, and so I said, I'll take it. But the ovalis did, the Ludwigia gold ovalis did, and will pygmy sunfish eat scuds? Yes, they will. And they really need live fish, or live food, most of the time. People have a really hard time getting them to survive a lot of times. And it's because you need to give them either baby brine shrimp or bloodworms or blackworms that are alive. The way I've been raising them, plug your ears if you're just a diehard shrimp lover. is I've been giving them the baby teeny tiny shrimp. I'll put like one pregnant shrimp in here from in one of my tanks that has like 200 of the Malawa shrimp or gold nebulas, and then I'll just put the pregnant one in there when it's about ready to give birth. And for like a month, that'll keep them good. Between that and um, can you guys hear me? Somebody says that they can't hear me. Between the baby shrimp and then planaria, and then I've got vinegar eels, that feeds my teeny tiny micro predators. So let's see here. Then here we've got this is my little hatching chamber. And this is where the Rhamnocentris ornatus eggs have been going. And, oh, you muted yourself because I was talking about mean things, right. Also, I moved my Panduro Apistos. They never spawned in that 17-gallon Iwagumi scape in the other room. So we're giving them a shot in this 20 long. And there's a bunch of shrimp in here, and they love shrimp. So I'm just going to let them eat the Malawa shrimp, and that'll be the price I pay again for them being in here. They do hunt, and they love the sand. Apistos really like to kind of suck up sand. You can see them here chopping through it, but that allows them to get gill infections rather easily. She's had this swollen gill plate thing for a while, but I always worry because they go through the yeah, that's you're exactly right. It's a Asian fern, Asiatic bulbitis fern, and it's the El Nino fern is its common name. Looks like kind of like a maple leaf almost, or almost like, yeah, like a big maple leaf with with a singular extension on it. But then I also put the red parrot feather, some of it in there. That's just sand. I have not figured out what I'm gonna do with that yet. You know, I love planted tanks. That's my thing. Planted tanks, if you haven't noticed, are out of control in this house. They're everywhere. But even my bowls are out of control. But I kind of like the sand. Watching the critters that live on the Pacific, the Indo-Pacific critters, boy, they're fun to watch. I'm using pool filter sand for now. That's that blonde sand. But when I use sand for aesthetics, I usually try to use local sand from the beach. And since I'm on the salt water here, I can rinse that sand a few times or even boil it. And it is a granite and basalt. These rocks are also from the mountains nearby. These are from the Cascade Mountains. I drive up about an hour and a half and I can go get them. Yes, parrot feather is a noxious weed in Washington state and a lot of states. The normal kind, and same with like Eurasian milfoil, or same with this plant here. But that parrot feather species is not on the national list. It's not on the list of like you can't have it. It's on the list of you can't buy and sell it in the state. These ones that I have here. Whereas the red parrot feather is from South America. The other two parrot feathers you can't even have them in our state really, because you can't buy, sell, or possess them. Whereas some you can't buy or sell, but you can possess them, which is but you can't transport them, but you can possess them, which is. I actually got this out of a local lake, and this is one of my favorite plants I have. There's been no CO2 for a month and a half now, and I love them. I really love this stuff. This is Hygrophila polysperma, or Rosenvig, and it comes in the white variegated kind. It comes in green, and then it also comes in the super pink variegated. But I found it in Green Lake, which is an urban lake in our area. So, yes, technically, I guess I wasn't supposed to transport it. So if anyone asks, it got stuck on my shoe. And then I was like, oh, my shoe's got stuff on it. I washed it off in the aquarium, and that's how it ended up here. But But yeah, that's probably my like sketchiest thing that I own as far as fish go. The other plants, though, like I said, the myriophyllum and the parrot feather. While there are several kinds that are the noxious weed in Washington, the kind that Aquatic Arts is selling is the it's not. It's the kind that needs to stay at like 75 degrees. Um, Kick it to Texas. Yeah, I will kick it to Texas for you, Patrick. Actually, I need to go to Florida we're looking at June maybe. And then I'm going out to Indianapolis, Chicago, and Tennessee, hopefully. And Spirulina, you say you got planted tanks in every room. I would if my wife didn't make me put all these tanks in one room. Or two rooms, I guess. We got them in two rooms and outside. But tank season outside hasn't really started for me yet. I got a few tanks with some rice fish, and then I've got the least killies. The least killies, by the way, the Aquatic Arts least killies, the Heteranda formosas, they're shy. They're definitely shy, but they're beautiful. I mean, look at their markings. A lot of these fish are just pure silver when you get them in the hobby. These ones have like striping and lines and marbling on them that's like iridescent silver and really nice when the sun hits them. And in this room, that's what I love about this room being where it is that the sun does come in for half the day. It's a little bit late now for it, but it's definitely grown a lot of algae like on this tank here, this one. I've got a lot of tanks turned sideways here. And then now I've got a lot of double stacked, like 20 longs this way, or up here there's double stacks. Here there's another tank back there. So I do need to kind of calm down a bit and figure out what I'm doing. But yeah, you have to get 10 plus least killies to see them school in your experiences, Mr. Gromby. I've never kept them before, so I'm really excited to have them. This guy I moved, and it's those orange fin Stiphodon. That's the biggest Stiphodon species I've seen by far. I mean, they're probably this big. He's at the bottom of a tank that's 2 feet from my finger, but they're definitely a little big, a little nervous. They make me a little nervous. Oh, here's one of those dragon micro gobies. He might shimmy into the sand if he can't get away from me, if he feels trapped. He'll either shimmy or bounce. But they're just a really cool one. And they've got these pectoral fins. Can we film him through the keyhole thing here? No, it's not going to focus, I don't think. But, he's got these pectoral fins that look just like dragons in old English and French literature, or German, or old European medieval literature. So he looks just like, where did he go? I mean, they disappear that quick. He's into the sand. And then these bumblebee gobies can do that too. But yeah. Also, yeah, exactly. So those Stiphodons definitely need to be with bigger sized fish. So these are going to be my bigger rainbow fish, bigger gobies. My lipstick goby can go in here too. Or guppies could go in here. But no shrimp are going to go down there. So I guess I've got, I don't know, like a dozen species of gobies right now. And they're just so different. Like every species is different. Like, but they all have this endearing, like they pile up with each other at night or when they're eating. And they're just, I mean, they're just so, I love gobies. I don't know. They're my new obsession, I guess. So I have a good time watching them do their thing. Also, we've got the pea puffers now, and the golden cichlids are back in the corner. I haven't seen the golden cichlids since I put the pea puffers in here. The pea puffers stay on this side of the filter, and the golden cichlids stay on the other. I watched the pea puffers just beating up on the cichlids. So I have to feed them both on opposite sides, like bloodworms. They'll eat frozen bloodworms. Now, know that some things like least killifish may not eat your flake food. You may have to actually buy some sort of. See, here's a beautiful male right in here. If you guys can make it out, it's really hard to see. Sorry about the glare. But yeah, there's some food left over that the snails are eating here, and the least killies are kind of picking at it with the Madakas. This is an unheated tank. It's about 68 to 72 degrees. It's staying a little cooler, and I don't know. I want to try an experiment, but this piece of wood wicks water up, and I'm wondering if it cools it somehow. I might be totally insane, but this tank stays cooler by 3 degrees than any other non-heated tank in this room. Most of the tanks in this room have a heater in it, but it's for like emergencies. Like this one, boy, I'd be in trouble if I needed this one. Get back in. Oh no. That's no good. So I'm prone to doing this. Probably going to be prone to electrocuting myself too. A lot of these cheap LEDs though, they have casings that go around the LED strip that's just a narrow strip on the inside. But yeah. So they're not going to shock you if they're plastic like that one. But or if they're waterproof like these, like Fluvals. But there's some that are sketchy metal ones, like I don't know, just older ones that you do not want to drop in the water. Like that one, that Aqueon one that's really old, if it gets wet, I just leave it. It's just done. Nope, no more for me. I can finally use these plants. I also want to tell you guys a couple things before I peace out of this unboxing. And that is that I've got big news for you guys. I know I said this a year ago, but she had issues going on in her personal life, which you can watch her channel to find that stuff out. I'm not going to mention it. But Rachel O'Leary next Tuesday is supposed to be doing an interview, and we've actually got a script that I kind of wrote out just so she would know what she's in for, essentially, because I know she's a busy gal. But essentially, it's questions about how both her and I'm of an age at mid-30s where I remember before cell phones when I was a teenager. I remember when the internet was just messenger and forums, and not to say anything, I know some of you remember your whole adult life basically before that, but my point being is that was that way, and then I got to college and everyone had a cell phone. Everyone had a Facebook by my junior year of college, you know? Well, all the college kids did. So we're going to talk about with Rachel O'Leary next Tuesday, the 6th, hopefully at 4 o'clock. That's our time for now, unless something changes. We're going to talk about how things have changed since she got into the hobby and kept fish, and nano fish specifically, how that has evolved from classified ads in the back of hobbyist magazines and mailing list where you'd get a roster or an index with the breeders of like all the guppy breeders on the West Coast or whatever. And then they'd have a P.O. box or whatever, something. And you could get a hold of them or a phone number or a hotline. Guppy Train started that way. And a lot of businesses started that way. But yeah, so it should be really fun on Tuesday. We should have Rachel on, unless something changed. I know she does have kids. She is completely redoing her life right now, and that's why things got rescheduled in the past. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that, like watching that evolve, and also her role in importing species that were not popular in the US. So, you know, a lot of people know her as the Nano fish gal, and she really was instrumental in getting importers and transshippers and things like that to bring in some fish that we'd never seen before. So this should be a long interview, long chat, and live. We're going to do it live. F it, we're going to do it live, I think is the plan. AIM, how about ICQ? Or how about Yahoo or GeoCities or Angel Fire? I remember all those. Live Journal. And then other news. I'm going to be on Bob Kaler's show on Sunday. So that'll be fun. Another news on the 20th, Danny and Kenny E of Danikin Aquatics are supposed to be on my show. So, and I may be on their show sometime in the near future too. We're working that out still. But yeah, so we got lots of stuff going on, guys. Lots of cross-pollination of us YouTubers in the fish fam, and just exciting times. So, you know, I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, for being so positive, for asking such good questions. And mods, you guys rock. Thank you. I do need to probably, you know, now that these fish are acclimating, I do want to get them out of the bags and into the tanks. You liked my podcast episodes on aquarium, guys? Rice water. Well, thank you. That's the late night crowd. If you guys want to hear some demonetized level things, yeah, there's 2 Aquarium Guys podcasts that I'm on. One where I talk about history and it's pretty nerdy. And the other is Fish Stories from Hell kind of thing, with Bentley Pasco also. But I think Rob's 93 and Kenny was, and Danny were mentioning maybe doing something there too. So if you guys know, follow, or friends with any of the folks I've mentioned, you got a month to look forward to, right? So thank you. And, you know, thank you again, you guys, for supporting the channel, for liking the content, for watching the videos, and for commenting, interacting. If it weren't for you guys using the discount codes, honestly, I mean, it helps their business grow. They're a company I really believed in before I even had a channel. They're a company that I found as one of the first online companies that I found, and lucked out, because then later I shopped with places like Arizona Gardens, or, you know, I won't go into a lot. Everyone know Arizona Gardens sucks. Everyone seems to know that, but, you know, I won't go down the list other than that. But you guys know how it is when you get a bad online store, or experience. I've never had one with Aquatic Arts, and even when a package has gotten completely lost because I've ordered from them so many times, that's happened once where it got really lost, and I was they're like, well, we can drive it to you in 3 days, and I was like, the fish are gonna all be dead. It was like winter. They totally made it right and then some. So that's why I work with them. And I know this is kind of an ad when you do an unboxing, but, you know, I also think it's fun, and you get to see some new species. And then that was them not colored up, not happy. They're stressed. So hopefully in the next few days, we'll get another update. I just did an update on how the unboxing from 2 days ago has turned out, so you can check that out. No losses of life other than some shrimp, which was my fault, because I put them in that tank with the sparkling gouramis, which was a poor choice. I looked over in the tank to check on them, and they had 2 or 3 dead yellow shrimp that they were literally vigorously shaking apart. And I was like, oh, wow, when did these guys get so aggressive? I've had sparkling gouramis eat baby shrimp, but never full-grown shrimp. Like usually they just haven't managed to eat them. They've chased them around and kind of harassed them, but I've never seen them just like eating a pile of them, like a few of them. But I moved them back up into a shrimp-only tank. Well, there's a Battis in there, but baby Battis, he's moving soon. So in any case, that's what's going on. So thank you, Aquatic Arts, and thank you, viewers, and thank you, mods. You guys are on point. Rigel, Muppet, you know, all my go-to people, Chubs. I really, really appreciate it, and we'll definitely be doing species profiles. I want to do like a video where we go on a tour. We go on safari for gobies, and we hit like a bunch of the Pacific Islands on the map and look at the like on the ground. I'll try to source some like the rivers they're from and stuff. So that's another thing I'm working on. It's hard to figure out what river they actually live in. Some of the rivers and creeks don't even have names. Like in Borneo, the natives just come into town with them in a bag and they're like, oh, it was in a creek that was, you know, a foot deep and 3 feet wide in this ravine. It's only there like 3 months a year. So stuff like that gets really hard. So yeah, not a stream without the Dr. Pepper. That is right. I did have to have a sip of Dr. Pepper right before. So yeah, we'll be doing that, and I'll be getting back on the you know, history train, the in-depth researching and stuff like that. And I think I'll be coming to Florida, hopefully in June. My wife's mom broke her hip on her horse, and she's in her mid-70s, so we need to get down there like ASAP. So as soon as we get our second vaccine and we're cleared to fly and go visit her at the place where she's at, I think we'll be going there pretty quickly. And I'll probably try to take a week extra to stay in the Tampa, Lakeland area, Central Florida. I might go back up to Ocala. I just love the springs there in the Ocala National Forest and the Okefenokee up in Georgia. June, I'll definitely get eaten alive, and I'll definitely be melting from the heat. I hate the heat, and I have allergies to bugs, but it's worth it for the fish. And hopefully if I've got a snorkel, I can just be under the water. But yeah, thanks, Mr. Gromby. That's good to know. I do have a lot of friends in Florida, so hopefully I won't be in a hotel. The guy who got us married and then my wife's family, some of them are down there. So thank you so much for the offer. But yeah, I'll definitely let everyone on the channel know, and we'll try to do a meetup with anybody who wants to meet up when I am traveling anywhere in the US. Yeah, because I'm also, like I said, I'd like to kind of fly into Chicago, maybe sometime September through November, fly into Chicago, head to Indianapolis, visit Lucas Bretz maybe, and then head over to Columbus, Ohio, maybe go over visit Rob all the way in northeastern Ohio at Flip Aquatics, maybe, I don't know, we'll see, try to get a hold of him. It's been a while since he and I chatted, but I've always wanted to see his place out there. Him and his wife have always been really nice to me, even when I was a teeny tiny channel. And then I would head down to the Nashville area, visit some folks. I know we've got, you know, Ginger's down there. So see some folks there, and then also see my sister-in-law and her husband who have a farm. And then, yeah, so hopefully this year, as things get back to normal, hopefully I'll kind of go on a tour of both the Florida and then the Midwest kind of down. And then I'm hoping to end and fly out of Alabama somewhere or New Orleans. But take like 2 or 3 weeks and wind from Chicago down over to the Great Lakes, like over through Detroit and, well, down to Indianapolis, then up to Detroit, then over to Columbus, then down to Nashville. And yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. I haven't talked to Lucas yet. I've talked to some of the other people about this whole plan that I'm doing, but yeah, we'll see how it all works out. I'll keep you guys posted. It's in the infancy stages right now. But yeah, it should be fun. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much, mods. Thank you, question askers. You can always ask questions in the comments if I miss something after in the video. And or on Patreon or email if you've got that, wherever is convenient. So yeah, All right, guys. Well, yeah, have fun cutting open bags, right? And throwing away those big styrofoam boxes. Yeah. So I will talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Oh, you got a sofa in New Orleans for me, Chubbs? Right on. I got friends in New Orleans. I got some wild friends in New Orleans. I don't think anyone who lives in New Orleans isn't wild. I don't know. Maybe that's not true, but that's the feeling that I get every time I go hang out there. I get myself into trouble. Although I haven't drank in years, so that should help me not getting into trouble. So, all right, we'll have to go catch some fish if I go down there. Maybe Chubbs will take me out on his tugboat, and we can hit the swamps and get some killifish and some top minnows. That'd be great. I'd be really excited to do that. See Jess and stuff like that. Yeah, Chubbs is gonna get me in trouble. Maybe we'll have to break that fast. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. Get these fish taken care of. You guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later.